Hello. How's it going? Just opening up the live stream. Just finished an episode of AI Inside with Jeff Jarvis at the same set, the hotel room where I am here in New York City. And yeah, I just saw that Suno overnight released an update to their system to allow you to split audio into stems. And it's something that I've been curious about. It's certainly something that I've been playing with these systems. I've wanted out of them. And I don't know that this is necessarily as granular as I would like, but I mean, I think that's just kind of the case of Suno entirely, is that it's just not as granular as what you see with Udio. And that is definitely the case with the new stems feature. So I'm going to play around with it a little bit. I figured I'd just open up a live stream if you want to learn a little bit about it too. I mean, it's super easy to use. It's not like it's a complicated system. But again, that's kind of soon. I think that's the benefit and the downside of Suno is that it's easy to use, but it's almost too easy to use. It's really great if you want to just open it up and punch out a quick song that you can share as a meme with some friends or whatever. Um, but if you want to open it up and use it as like a utility, like, as a musician, you want to get something specifically out of it, you might not get exactly what you're looking for. But um, now with the stems feature, it kind of goes one step beyond what Udio offers. Udio doesn't offer the stems. If you wanted to take an audio piece of audio that's been generated and break out the vocals, let's say, you'd have to bring that into another system. Maybe it's Lala, um, maybe it's Logic. I think Audacity has a stem capability. I mean, it's a dime a dozen as far as AI services online that can break out stems. But you still have to kind of do it through a different site or a different service. And Suno seems to be the first AI generation site of the major ones out there right now that I've seen that allows you within the context of the service to do the stems breakout. And like I said, this just launched hours ago. So, and I've had a lot of people in comments saying, "Hey, it's going to be great once Suno or Udio gets the stems feature. It's going to change everything." And I don't know if it's going to change everything, but I am curious to know what the quality of this is. And so that is why I'm opened up this stream to show you. So let me go ahead and share my Suno tab with audio capability. There we go. Here, I'll go ahead and fit it a little bit better. All right. So this is what we were looking at a couple of nights ago. I opened up a live stream to kind of get more familiar with the Suno interface. And I am going to upload some audio. So essentially, for those of you who have not seen what I've done in the past as far as these live streams is concerned, or what my focus is with using audio generation sites, is not to create a fully realized song. I'm not as interested in that. As a musician, I want to run my own music through it and have it come up with ideas that I can then use in the context of my song. Be it generates an idea and I'm like, I like that idea, I'll recreate it. Or I think in the realm of stems, it becomes possible to break things out that you want to use as a sample, let's say, or maybe you want to isolate it so you can better understand it. So let's see here. So I'm going to pick North Star. Went skiing in North Star with the family back in January, and often when I travel, I like to open up Ableton Live and just see what I can, see what comes out of it, and then later, I find the audio and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember sitting on the couch in that, Airbnb next to the fireplace making that song. It's not really a full song. It's just like a loop is essentially what it is. I create a lot of kind of loop starting points. It's like if I want to expand on this later, I can. So it's kind of like it's a proof of concept or whatever. So I have uploaded that. It's only 15 seconds. It's pretty short, but let's listen to it and see. Hey, Clint. Good to see you here. Yeah, this is a pretty basic one. Okay, so that's what we got. So what I want to do to test out stems is I want to first run this through. I'm going to switch this to custom. I'm going to first, well, let's see here. In order to do stems, my understanding is stems only works to separate vocals from instrumental. So that would lead me to believe that in order to do stems, I need an audio output that has vocals in it, would be my guess. So we're going to play with a few things here. I'm not going to switch this to instrumental yet. I will later because I want to try something. Make random lyrics. Sure. I'm just going to go ahead and generate random lyrics. I don't have the mental bandwidth right now to actually write my own lyrics. So I'll let it create its highly, cheesed up lyrics. Light up in the night, stars shining so bright. Look up, take a flight, dreams in the moonlight. Oh my goodness. Okay. Style of music. Electro pop. Glitchy guitars with washed out reverbs. Spaced out landscapes with, quarter note delays. I'm totally just making up randomness. I don't know what it's going to do. And then, oh man, edgy compressed vocals. Won't let me. I've reached the end of my character limit, so I'll put Vox. Here, no, actually, let's see here. Compressed vocals. There we go. Okay, title, Starry Skies. I'm so afraid. All right, let's run this through. And so what it's going to do is it's going to create two different generations. It's going to give me, oh, and did I? No, okay. There is no controls over what it uses for the context of this. So I've given it my audio, the little music clip that I created back in January. And I've said to add vocals, which, my experience is that the vocals are just, without a lot of work, which I don't really put a lot of work into vocals because I don't really care about them, the AI generated vocals that much. But I know you can get good output. I haven't spent the time to like really focus on getting good output. So usually when I do vocals, it's cheesy, but I'm not doing this for any reason more than to just like get an understanding of how the process of splitting out to stems works and what the quality of that is. So we've got our first generation here. Let's go ahead and listen to this this first output. Wow, that's very different from my other. This sounds nothing like what I uploaded. Did I do it wrong? I must have done it wrong. I uploaded audio. Okay. I'm super confused right now. Okay. Let me remind you, this was the source. Something happened here. It did not take the way I expected. Okay, so let me go ahead and do that again. I don't know why. Complete. Must be original. Okay. Oh, I know what I did. Okay, this is just because I'm a noob in the Suno sense. I created these from scratch. I was like, wow, these things sound nothing like what I gave it. I need to use this what is it? The extend feature. That's what it is. Okay, so I hit extend, right? Is that not going to work? Regenerate, go to. Yeah, why is that not working? So I've uploaded it. I'm hitting extend and it's not working. All right, so I'm going to refresh. There must be something weird going on here. Extend. Okay, here we go. That's what I missed before. Apologies. Okay, so I'm going to make those random lyrics. Damn, I wish I had written down the prompt that I put in there. Electro pop, quarter note delays on effects, on ambient effects, edgy compressed vocals, with 1176, because I know sometimes if you use actual hardware, like audio hardware, sometimes that can influence the output. Oh boy, anthemic. Sure, let's go ahead with that. Wandering Dreamer, extend from. Hey, Ozone Nightmare, thank you. That's kind of you. Thank you for the 5 bones. Glad you're feeling better and in good enough shape to tolerate this AI weirdness. I am always in good shape to tolerate AI weirdness. I'm here for the AI weirdness. Sometimes it's just a little too cheesy and whatever for me to tolerate, and I have to shut it off before my ears bleed. But okay, so again, my deepest apologies. I did not extend on the last audio. That's why it sounded nothing like what I fed it. So now I'm going to extend, and now it's going to actually do what I asked it to do. I still think my first prompt was better. I could probably borrow the prompt, couldn't I? So if I go here, oh yeah, I could. Okay. Well then, I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to do another generation with that, and we'll see if they sound different. New prompt. Okay, we haven't even got to the stems feature yet. All right, so here's the first thing. Walking down this empty street. All the Suno vocals have that like that kind of like that papery thing. That's interesting. That's interesting. Echoes bounce from every wall. In this maze I stand so tall. I'm a wandering dreamer. That's interesting. I'm hearing my original and then hearing kind of what it's. Man, as a musician, it's so weird to hear your song realized in a different way like this. Like hearing all the different kind of directions that it's going and all the layers and stuff. Okay, so let's try the second one. Empty street, night is young, lights flicker fleet. Stars above, they guide my way. In the dark I find the day. City whispers in my ear, telling tales both far and near. Echoes bounce from every I'm going with this one because I like the sound of the music aspect. So as a musician, when I listen to this through musician ears, you know, it's just the vocals, whatever, like they're throwaway. I'm sure someone could do something with them, but I hear this and I'm like, okay, I like the underlying music. The vocals I don't really care much about. I want those vocals out of there so that I can keep the music. Let's say that's my process, right? So I can click this, right? Can't I? Can I not? I should be able to get the stems on this, or is it still generating, still finalizing? Like, I probably can't get it until this shows me the TRT, the total runtime, because I think that's when I know that the generation is done, right? Because one thing I noticed from Suno the other night when I did a live stream, is that it gives you the beginning of the generation while it's still kind of creating the end, and so still working. I don't have full control over it until I have those runtimes shown there. What I'm wondering is if I refresh, will they be there? Let's see here. No, they're still kind of generating. Okay. Well, then all we can do is wait. So let's check out the other ones. This was the original prompt that I did when I did it incorrectly. Walking down the the music, I'm noticing the music is pretty similar between the three. Like what it chooses, what the direction they're choosing to take it. Stars above, they guide my way. In the dark, I find the day. That's sweet. City whispers in my ear. Like that. Tell me tales both far and near. Echoes bounce from every those just came back. In this maze, I stand so tall. I'm a wandering dreamer. Oh. Okay. All right. Now remind you. Totally. So the Ozone Nightmare, which again, thank you for the $5. That is so nice of you. I really appreciate that. Says, I feel like that breathy audio quality, yeah, very breathy, right, is going to make people start to think any vocals like that are just AI, oversaturation bias. Yeah. We'll know that's happened when people start to, why did I suddenly blank? The art, God, only because I'm trying to remember her name. I'm blanking, but she, all of her vocals are super breathy. Billie Eilish, that's who I was thinking of. I don't know why I couldn't think of her name. It's like it was there and then suddenly it disappeared. Okay, so reminder that what you were listening to was an extension of a song that I wrote, or at least a little blurb that I wrote. That was this. Like back in January. And so that whole song that you heard was, kind of a take on that. And I'm more interested, more impressed by what I'm hearing now than I was the other night. Could be the other night I was just tired. But let's take this first thing that I liked. Let's go ahead in this little drop down area, and now I have the get stems. So I'm going to go ahead and get stems. Now it's going to fire those off, and you see the only stems you can get right now in Suno is instrumental and vocal. So there is no breaking out the stems, like, oh, there's that instrument. I really want that instrument. Like I said on AI Inside today, I really want that tuba. You can't break out the tuba. Not yet. It's all instruments and it's all vocals. Now, how well it does that is a big question. I'm super curious to know how well it does it. Yeah, no question. The Ozone Nightmare says, I'm sure it'll improve over time, but we're in the middle of an explosion of this content, so that association will have already formed. It's impressive, though. No doubt about it. Yeah, I mean, it is exploding right now. I'm really curious to see, at the rapid pace that we're at right now. I can only imagine it's only a matter of time before UDO gets stem capability, and I really hope so. As a musician, I want more granular control over that stem kind of approach. I want to be able to pull out the bass. I want to be able to pull out, the synths or the guitars or the effects or whatever. Just having all instruments doesn't really do a whole lot for me. But anyways, I'm curious to know. And I mean, pulling out the vocal stems, now that could be a thing that a lot of people want to do, because then you could remix those vocal stems in whatever way you want. However, like, it's my view that AI generated vocal tracks like what you're hearing through Suno aren't that great to begin with. They do have that kind of like that papery, washed out kind of quality. Um, Hi Const 71. When you say you can do this with OBS Studio, what is the this that you're talking about? I'm curious. Let me know, please. But welcome. Good to have you here. Okay, so we've got our stems. Vocal first. All right, so what is the vocal? We're here in silence until it comes in all washy and stuff.
Walking down this empty street, night is young, lights flicker fleet. Stars above, they guide my way. In the dark, I find the day.
Okay. All right. I mean, again, it's like, okay, so it isolated them. Great. The quality of the vocals itself, like, and I don't think it's a product of the isolation nearly as much as just the generation to begin with, is not amazing. In this example, maybe there are ones that are amazing. Const writes, stems, splitting vocals from instrumentals. And an OBS? That's why would OBS why would OBS have that? That's so interesting. Like the broadcasting platform? I mean, I use OBS for some of my records, but not in the music production sense. That's interesting. I'll have to look that up. Okay, and I agree. These are not clean stems. I mean, it's clean in the sense that,
City whispers in my ear,
yeah, you hear
telling
that
tales
like
both
those
far
little
and
dropouts.
near. Echoes bounce from every wall. In
I
this
mean,
maze I'd stand so tall. I'm wandering.
it's there's not enough fidelity to the vocal. But again, I don't know that that's necessarily the stem feature as much as it is the generation of those vocals to begin with, and kind of touching on what you were saying, the Ozone Nightmare, that like breathy kind of papery quality is going to improve over time. These systems will get really good at it. I guarantee it. We've seen it in imagery. We're going to see it in audio. It's just taking a little bit longer. So that'll be solved. And then maybe, remixing an AI generated vocal, in this way might make sense. Okay, so let's listen to the instrumental. This is the version that we heard with the vocals removed. Well, it's not perfect. You still got it in there. It's just way quieter. Yeah. Yeah, so it's not a full clean removal, obviously. Yeah, it's totally still in there. Interesting. Well, yeah, I know. Yeah, it's using AI. It's AI to remove the vocals, of course. Oh, I see. I thought you were talking about this. Sorry. No, you were. Okay. So just as I'm amazed that OBS Studio does this. Like I didn't know OBS would do any sort of separation. Like why would a video production, a live stream production app do this? They seem like totally different kind of functions. Anyways. Okay, cool. I didn't even know you could do that. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I will play around with it. As far as Suno stem capabilities, I have it. I have OBS. I'm not using it right now. I use it on my machine at home. I'm traveling right now. I don't use it on this machine really. But yes, I will. Thank you. As far as Suno stem separation, vocals sounded fine, you know. Instrumental is not true instrumental. You've still got that, like, it's almost like you've got a shadow of the vocals in the background. Let's listen to a few of the other generations and find one that we can do another step separation and see how it fares.
Walking down the simplicity. Night is young, let's flicker flee. Stars above, they guide no way. In the dark, I find the day.
I like the chord progression there. Okay, there's that one. Then there's.
Walking down this empty street.
I bet you the separation on this would not be good for the instrument. With all that like space, you know, things get really quiet. So let's try it. Let's go ahead and mark this one as our separation. So we'll go ahead and get stems on that. I mean, I've only done stems once now, so I can't say definitively, but on the one that I did, that instrumental still had that kind of like that shadow of the vocal hanging around. And I would hope that as this feature improves, it gets better at, you know, being able to remove all components. I would hope that it expands and allows you to isolate different things, not just all music. But yeah, maybe Suno has no interest in that. I don't know. Welcome, ABC, or is it Abcabk? Either way, welcome. Proper stemming would have to be done during inference and generation. May require Suno to make major model changes, which is non-trivial. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't think any of this is easy, but I think the use case or the users are going to inform Suno about what really matters to them. Here's my hunch, is that stems on Suno isn't going to really be a high demand feature for the majority of its users. Because again, in my experience with Suno, I see it more as a toy than as a utility. UDO I see differently. UDO has a ton of customizability. I see it as a utility. You can use it as a toy, but and so I'm guessing the majority of people that are using Suno are using it because it's really easy to use. And so those aren't the people that are, you know, in the weeds musicians or music producers looking to remove things so that they can remix them. You know, you could make the case that the everyday user might make a generation and be like, I really like this generation, but I don't need one with the vocals. I'd like it better as an instrumental. Okay, so then maybe they'll use this feature, but I don't think a lot of people are going to use it. I think the musicians are the ones that really are clamoring for this particular type of functionality, and I don't think that the musicians, my guess is that the musicians aren't going to opt for Suno over UDO. Okay, so we got our generations back. Let's hear the vocal stem first. Okay, true quiet there, so it did remove the instruments.
Walking down this empty street. Night is young, lights flicker
flee. Okay, great. We know what it is. But I'm really curious to hear, like, when things are going to get really quiet in this instrumental, and are the vocals entirely gone? Yeah, you can hear it. Yeah, man, Suno it just reminds me of FM. It's got FM radio quality to me. Yeah. So it sounds like in my 2 generations, it sounds like when you're going for an instrumental, you're not getting a true instrumental. You're getting more of an instrumental. You're getting closer to an instrumental, but you're not getting an entire instrumental. So don't think that the stem feature is going to completely remove the vocals entirely, because this doesn't look like it's going to work. Let's try one more different idea. Well, actually, okay, so I want to try something. So I'm going to go ahead and select a different song. Plane from Park City. Plane from Park City. So this was a on the plane from Park City, Utah to California, where I live. We had gone to Park City for a ski trip. Do a lot of snowboarding in the summer or in the winters. Kids ski and my wife and I snowboard. And so on the plane, I wrote a little clip. And it's always interesting writing music on a plane because, you know, whether you have noise canceling headphones or not or whatever, you're contending with horrible like audio, you know, hitting you from all directions. It's never perfect, so it might not be a great kind of mix. Okay, so that's it. What I want to know is, does it give me the stem option if I have it as an instrumental? So I'm just going to put in the same prompt because I'm lazy. I'm going to create an instrumental. I don't imagine that it would. Like, why would it? If there's no vocals to begin with, then what is it going to stem out? But I want to see what it does, like how it treats that. And so it's working on that. Yeah, I doubt it too. It's working on that. And I can't do anything with stems until this is completely done. Well, it's grayed out right now because it's still working. One thing I've noticed is you don't get the ability to do any of the stems until this is completely done. But are you saying on yours it's grayed out? Const 71? Yeah, it might very well be. I wouldn't be surprised. I would expect that because what we know about stems, at least from what I've seen, is that it doesn't allow you to do stems of anything else other than vocals and that sort of stuff. So, yeah. Yeah. We're all guessing here. Your guesses are welcome here. Okay, so then... Oh, wait a minute. I did the thing again. I did the thing again. These aren't going to work because I didn't extend them. Okay. Instrumental, style of music. So those generations aren't going to work. I keep forgetting to do that. Park City, instrumental. Okay, extend from 17. Sure, whatever. Extend. Okay. Now this. Oh, although, okay, so this isn't going to sound like the thing I uploaded. Oh God, that sounds awful. Okay, I don't even want to work with that. That sounded horrible. God, why does this stuff sound so bad? I mean, granted, I did no controls on this because I didn't actually do an extension of the song that I uploaded. Just as a reminder, the song I uploaded is this. Oh, wait a minute. Are you hearing a diminished quality of audio? Because even the thing that I uploaded now sounds different. So there's something going on here. Because we previewed this before and it sounded fine. And now it sounds bad. So I'm going to refresh. does it sound like that now? Huh, I'm so confused. I am super confused. Yeah, everything sounds like that now. Hold on. I am really perplexed. All the audio that we were listening to that sounded fine moments ago does not anymore. That is really, and I don't know how I can troubleshoot that. How I can make sure that it sounds better. That's so weird. That's got to be a system. There's got to be a system issue going on right now. I mean, it's not on my side. It's refresh one more time. And if it's not going to sound better, then I'll just kind of wrap things up because it doesn't make sense for us to. Yeah, that's not right. Okay. Well, but yeah, right. Call tech support. Oh, yeah. Does that even exist for Suno? I don't even know right now. Okay, but what this can give me is once I have this instrumental, once the instrumental is done, I just want to see, like, does it give me the ability to split out a stem from it, or does it mark it somehow? I mean, I guess I could hear. See, so I've got that. And we know that there's no vocals on it. It still gives me the ability to get stems. So it's not grayed out, const 71. If I do that, it still wants to break out the vocals. So I wonder what it actually ends up breaking out. If there's no vocals, what does the vocal stem sound like? Maybe it's just silence. Could be just silence. And I mean, we're only going to be able to determine part of this because something is happening on the site that is making it sound like complete garbage right now. So I'm happy that we got at least some of the generations in before that happened on this live stream. And I probably have to wrap it up here in a few minutes. Okay, so the vocal stem. Now, understand that the audio quality is weird right now. I don't know what's going on the site, but we can at least get a little bit of a sense of what it means when you break out vocals from an audio source that doesn't have vocals to begin with. And I'm guessing it's probably just silence. And it's been playing for a little while. We're not hearing anything. So my assumption is probably pretty correct. Not hearing anything there. The instrumental probably sounds the same, I'm guessing. You know what's interesting to me is hearing this audio like this reminds me of how bad music generation used to sound, because it used to all sound like that. Remember when however, a handful of years ago, a couple of years ago, you'd run some of the AI models on music generation and it all sounded like AM radio quality, which is kind of what that sounds like to me. Okay. All right. So it sounds like, putting the quality of the generations aside right now, because there's something going on with the site, with the Suno site, it sounds like if you feed it audio that doesn't have any vocals and you can still choose to split stems, and it will process it and it'll give you the vocal stem even though there were no vocals, and that vocal stem is going to be silent, and your instrumental stem is going to be probably the same that you fed it, is what it sounds like to me anyway. So you can, it just doesn't do anything. And yeah, that's the stems feature. Pretty exciting, huh? ABC or ABCABC says you could also use Ultimate Vocal Remover to split the instrumentals into separate stems. Amazing. I know there are a bunch of them, and I totally get it. That's awesome. I just think that something like UDO, I would love for it to just have it baked in. You know. And then const 71 before I wrap up this live stream because I got to. Starting to hear noises on the other side of the wall. Maybe they're banging for me to shut up. Says probably because it doesn't know what vocals are until it tries to process it. OBS Studio sometimes mistakes instruments as vocals. Well, maybe, but I mean, it seems to just give me. Oh, you might be right, actually, Const, because look, this is the instrumental. Although it created that instrumental, so maybe that marked a tag of some sort, some metadata on its side to say, oh, well, it's an instrumental. Of course, there's no vocals. Therefore, this is blocked out. And as you can see underneath it, it says stems cannot be stemmed. Oh, and that's why, because it knows through its metadata that this is a stem, and so you cannot then stem it. So there you go. Okay. Well, I will be super curious to know if UDO does this as well, and I will definitely play around with it and share it with you. I'm slightly nervous that someone on the other side of this wall is telling me to shut up right now, which is fine. It's 11 a.m. I have to start packing up and getting ready to go to the airport, anyways. But um, thanks for hanging out, you guys. Appreciate it. It was fun showing off the stems feature of Suno. Make sure if you haven't already to like this if you want to see more like it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel because I do these things. This is a way for me to get a better sense of what's out there in the world of AI and share it with you so we can kind of learn about it all together from the perspective of a musician looking to use these things to be more creative in what I do. So thanks for watching, y'all. I'm going to hop on a flight here soon and go back to the West Coast. So I'll see you on the other side of all that. Also, we just wrapped up an episode of the AI Inside podcast, me and Jeff Jarvis, here on the TechSploder YouTube channel. You can find that. Just go to the channel page and you'll find the podcast there. We do talk about the Suno news, but we talk about a lot of other really interesting stuff happening in the world of AI. The new Llama 3.1 update, whole lot of stuff. Altman's universal basic income research study, really cool stuff on the show this week. So check that out as well if you're interested in everything AI. All right, let me stop that screen. Wave goodbye to you all. Thank you for being here, and yeah, I'll see you on the other side, folks. Bye.